Good afternoon, March 5th, 2018, 12:01 p.m. Going to run a quick midday to look at some of the standard charts and also some of the swings and some of the movers on the day. So the first one I want to look at is Netflix. Sorry. Turn your volume down on your monitors. There you go. So Netflix is getting close to the first resistance point at 313.92. I alerted this in the pre-market report that we did this morning, and we also did a trade setup on it last week. So the simplest way, there's a number of ways to get to this, but the simplest way is this tweet I put out here, giving you a link to not only the YouTube video from this morning, so we're running YouTube live every morning for our setups. That's one way to get to the support and resistance and the way that we're trading it. The other way is on our blog. So we're running some swing trading promotional posts that you can get on if you are part of the mailing list. This is loading slowly. And we'll just pretend it loaded. It's taking time. But anyway, that's how you get there. That's one way to do it. Easiest way, just go to my Twitter feed for now. But sign up for the mailing list to make sure that you get the swing trade promotional setups that we're sending out. So Netflix is getting really close now to the first target. The second target's at 315.92. Third target is 328.23. And then if you bring this chart out a little bit, you'll see the trajectory for the bullish side target. And anyway, you'd have to get into the post for all the support and resistance areas. So that's Netflix. So we're bullish on Netflix. It's just about there intraday, so you want to be careful there. Bitcoin. So this is a quad in our charting. Bitcoin came right underneath the mid-quad target, technical target, let's call it that, hit a high of 11,620. Technically speaking, the target for today was in around just shy of 11,700, so it just came shy of the target. I expected, based on the trajectory, that we might see an overextension up into 12,129. Either way, it hit the technical target. It may do the overextension and then come off. I wouldn't be surprised if we see it up, into that area of 12,165 to 12,500 and then come off some and retrace, and then we'll see if it goes again. There are more targets for other time cycles, but for now, that's the trajectory we see, and we've been following this specific move for about 10 days now, and it's been spot on. So that's Bitcoin. The S&P has gone green. It's over top of resistance. We also covered the support and resistance areas in pre-market. 270.25 was the resistance at pre-market, and it's up over it now at 271.66 at high of day, almost up 1%. Your next resistance is in the 274.15 area. I'd be very cautious about that area. 200 MA, by the way, is not far off now. It's going to slice through this quad. So we'll see. We've got a target here of 28638 on March 8th. On the more bearish side, it would be 27016-ish, and on a complete washout, 25411, and those are all for March 8th on the timing cycle. VCEL, I really like this chart. This is the 1 week chart. In pre-market, I had sent out an alert that your 1040 area was resistance, and sure enough, it stopped there. I got up to 1080, but it came off, and it's sitting right around resistance right now. Your next target to the upside is 1370 if it holds. If it doesn't, your downside bearish target is significant to 685, but I think you're going to see it form over and target 1380. I'm likely going to do a post with the time cycle scenarios on it to time the actual move. So that's VCEL. COT, I had posted to our members this morning an alert in Discord in the swing trading side and also on the pre-market report. Pre-market report, by the way, is, you go to my Twitter feed again, and you just go there, and your password for today was NFLX, and it's got my complete trading plan in there. That specific setup for COT was only in that trading plan and or in the private member server for swing trading on Discord. So COT specifically, what I'm watching for is that 100 MA on the daily at 16, we'll call it 1610. It got up to 1599 today. It doesn't surprise me. MACD's up. So you can structure a trade between the 200 and the 100. Once it's up over the 100 and the 50 here, price establishes over there, then you're going to start to see full extensions. So you can target in 1731 and then to the upside on a real aggressive pop, 1768. And here again, I might model this one out, but those are your general areas to watch. The other one we're watching today is VRX. There is a trend line at the base, upslope, so intraday you would be in and around 1344. It's trading 1542. It may not get there. We'll see. Here's another one that I have a model on that the members have in our swing trading that outlines your time cycles and targets. But for the purpose of this video, anything over that 13, well, I guess it's 1347 on the daily, or sorry, on the 4-hour chart, is a buy side. You just got to time it right. So that's VRX. And then I want to take a look at some of the standards that we watch. We'll fire through these really quick. So Bitcoin we covered. The dollar. So let's take a look at the dollar here quick. So the dollar's been threatening a bottoming pattern the last few weeks. Our model has been spot on with it. It is kind of sideways and saggy for a turn, but it could happen. So I just want to see how the indicators look on this quick. So the dollar on the daily, I've been watching these MAs, so it's almost there. So its structure now is over the 20 MA with the 50 MA above. The trick here is to get the price above the 50 and the 20 to come from underneath and breach, and then I think you got a turn. The thing is, on the short term, the stock RSI is coming down, so I'd wait for that to turn. So what I'm going to do is alarm that. Stock RSI, crossing stock RSI on the daily, and that's going to probably be my trigger. That'll probably correspond with price above the 50 with the 20 breaching underneath, and then there's your turn in my opinion. But caution with it, because it tried to turn here and it didn't go. That was its first real aggressive turning point, September 2017. September 2017. Okay, so that's the dollar. I also want to look at gold real quick here. So this is gold on the daily. If you look at a monthly chart, you get a feel for what it's been doing. So it's coiling at a pivot area, and it's basically a decision area. So if you bring that down on the daily and take a quick look at your indicators, what you find is the MACD is trailing down or trending down. Stock RSI is turning up. So short term, the stock RSI turning up will probably push it back into the 20 and the 50, and whether or not it breaches is the trick. So the way to trade this is to get this MACD to turn and then look at it on the long side. So I've just alarmed that. Silver, I think we're in the same scenario. So silver has the stock RSI trending down, MACD flat, and squeeze momentum flattening out. So really indecisive, but what I'm going to do is just alert this, alarm it, stock RSI crossing the stock RSI on the daily. Crude oil, I guess what we'll do is we'll go USOIL here. So this is the FX USOIL WTI chart on the daily. So it's right up against that 50. So this is something that I'm watching very, very close. Stock RSI looks like it's about to turn up. Squeeze momentum's green, and MACD is a little flat, but I'll tell you, it gets up over that 50 now. The chart structure is pretty decent here, and some of our models that we've put out have some pretty aggressive targets. So that is definitely something that I'm watching. I just want to go through my list here and make sure that I've covered them all. Okay, those are the standards that I had on my list to cover here today. But that 50 on the 50 MA on the daily on oil is a big deal. I guess also I should mention that I've been posting the weekly looks fantastic, upwards 200, sitting on the 20, trending on it. Stock RSI is about to turn, but that MACD, so it's a little difficult to sort through there. But here's your big chart, the monthly with the 200 MA. We posted models on targets for this, but anyway, that's been the challenge on oil the last 2 months. And on the bottom side, it hits the 50, bounces. On the top side, it hits the 200 and comes off. So that's what oil right now is struggling with. And I wouldn't doubt that it just ends up in a bit of a bullhorn and then possibly gets to the 100, but we'll see. So that's oil. I'm going to take a look at some of these movers on the day. I'm not going to spend much time on them, but I want to take a quick look at some of them here. If there's any charting that you want me to take a look at, get it in the room as soon as possible. Here's INNT, big mover on the day, 100%. Be careful with the 100% mark, and also be careful because it never holds its gains. I would expect this to be a pretty decent short side trade here. CLSD came off right after open, and it's done nothing since. XL, there's nothing to talk about there. GTXI, I've been watching this very closely, posting on it, and if I remember correctly, yeah, there it is there. So it's just at that gap point and resistance. So that's a major pivot area it's at. So going into tomorrow morning, I'll be watching this one very close for a day trade setup. So I'm just going to get this alarmed for that possible scenario. So this will be on my watch list tomorrow morning for sure. RNS, CASA. So these I've covered. ARWR. We'll take a look at it quick. So this is one of the more aggressive charts that you're going to find out there right now. It's getting very close to a breakout. Anything over, well, it's tough. Like once you get up over 830 or so, this might just really take off out of the bowl. So we're going to set an alarm here for that eventuality. INFI, RKDA, so these are all ones I've looked at that I'm just not super interested in right now. Okay, so that's the midday review. It's 12/14, March 5th, 2018, and that's my watch list. Thanks so much.